Good evening. Welcome to the Relishing Dead podcast where we devour everything in the TWD universe. I'm Dawn.
I'm Eliza.
I'm Carol.
I'm Barb.
And don't forget to watch tonight. After we get done with our interview, we're going to be showing the From trailer for season 3. So we're really excited about that. But tonight we have a very special guest. We like to welcome Sean Watson.
Yay!
Hi, ladies.
Hi,
Thank
Sean.
you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. This is an honor to be on your show. I'm really excited tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I guess I could tell a little bit about myself real quick for those that may not know who I am. I've kind of, I've been, like everybody else, a big fan of The Walking Dead. Pretty much before it even started on TV. When it was a comic book, I think it came out the first couple of issues, and my comic book store guy would tell me about it. I'm like, I'm not into zombie comics. And he said, you're really going to like this, right? And I'm like, I'm more like Wolverine, X-Men, but, he kept harassing me. And I think I said, after I decided I'd give it a try, I waited till the trade paperback came out. Now, he was going to hold on to, you guys notice, he was going to hold on to the first issue, which I wish I would have, obviously bought at the time, but I was hooked after that. And then when the TV show came out, it was even better. Like, just the fact that you watch, you read the comics and you see it on TV, and the way they did it was really great. And then, after the third season, I started really kind of researching where they were filming The Walking Dead, and didn't realize it was so close to where I lived. And so I'm sure, like a lot of people, I started kind of, just digging through everything, and, found out that the guys who created Walker Stalker, they were posting a lot of stuff. They were the people at the time, Eric and James. They were at the time the ones that were actually, doing all this and posting pictures. So I kind of decided I wanted to kind of do what they wanted to do. So, we finally went up there, and, we got to see some of the stuff. Like many people, didn't see any action, didn't, meet any actors or anything. We just went up and saw Woodbury and stuff like that, which was really cool. So you fast forward to about the start of season 4, I started meeting some more people, and I ended up meeting somebody that was that worked on the show that actually hooked me up with certain information to help me decide like who was going to be on set, and basically what was going to happen. And if you ladies don't know, they had on a lot of the call sheets, they had code names, right? I don't know if you guys knew that, but they had code names. And like, I know Norman Reedus was Godzilla. Otis was Andrew. Yeah, that was his code name. Flame Lily was Michonne. So it took a little while. Once you read the script of what they were doing, you could figure out who was who, and it was, it was such a neat thing to kind of see all that and know what you were getting into. So, if I had to drive 3 hours, well, exactly where they're going to be at and stuff. But we really had a good time doing that. It was fun. We definitely, we definitely made a lot of friends doing that, but it was kind of like a double-edged sword, right? So I would, kind of tell some people, and what happened is these people would tell other people, and next thing you have a big group of people and stuff like that, and people taking credit. Have you ladies ever been through that?
No, not us.
Yeah. So it's like everybody. So you started getting these big crowds, and I remember at one point around like season 6, I think it was, you would hear like the crew members and stuff saying, "How did they find us? Like, how did they know we were going to be here?" And I'm like, I not me. Someone told me, right? Like, which is the truth. Like, somebody told me. So he would show up, and it was just, and I think after season 6, it got really crowded. You started having, you guys might have heard, some fans were stopping Norman Reedus from leaving on a motorcycle and stuff. I was there for that one. It was very cringe-worthy kind of, pitch that you saw. But, we you see a lot of that stuff.
Is that when the woman took his keys from him and threw them?
I didn't see that part. I just know she stood in front of the motorcycle and wouldn't let him leave. And I was like, oh, wow. And then everybody surrounded him on his motorcycle at the time. And it was just kind of like, wow, we're doing this now. I was like,
God.
So, you see that kind of stuff. There was a guy, and some of the people that might be watching this that were probably there. There was a guy out there too. taking picture of women, inappropriate pictures, and he got busted there. Oh, you heard about that? So yeah, I was there that day too because they were showing me, and I was like, oh, and I remember they were talking to him and stuff, and he wouldn't give up his camera, but someone had caught him doing some things, and so there's always drama. Like everywhere you go, there's drama, right? So there was drama, a lot of those days too. So
Yeah.
But
What's drama?
yeah, I know, right? I mean, it's everywhere. It doesn't matter where you go; it's everywhere, and you can. It always seems like you can't make people happy, even though you try.
Who was the first actor or actress that you met?
The first one that I met, let me see. It would be, I think it was Norman Reedus. As a matter of fact, it was Norman Reedus on one of the sets. I think it was when he was driving his Jeep. One of the days, and I want to say we were sitting out by this. There was I can't remember the name of the road right off bat, but it was right before you get to the studio, and there were a couple of what's that?
Is it Crooks Road?
That's what it is. Yes, Crooks Road. Yes. So they turned around, and we decided. I knew they were working at the studio and everything like that. So we ended up parking at the corner there. This is like when we first started doing stuff, and I haven't met anybody after trying several times. So we turned around and hold on one second. My daughter opened up the door. I'm so sorry. That's what happens when you have a 4-year-old running around. But anyway, so we were sitting there, and then Norman Reedus he ended up driving up and pulled over, and we got a couple things signed, and that was great. It was such a great interaction. There weren't a lot of people there, and I remember going back saying I finally got somebody after so many times.
Yeah.
And I snagged a whale.
Yeah, and right off the bat, right? But Andrew Lincoln and Lauren Cohan were the two I was trying to get. And the first time I met Andrew Lincoln,
The first time.
There was like 4 or 5.
I met him several times. Believe me, there are people who met him,
What was his nickname?
his nickname was Otis.
Otis. Okay.
Otis. That was his nickname, was Otis. So the first time I met him, and if you walk or stalk, or if you into celebrities and stuff, a lot of people go to the airport to meet these actors and stuff, right? Which is kind of, I guess if you look at it, it can be weird or something, or but where they're coming in at, where they're going to be at a specific time if you had the right correct information. So I had a buddy of mine say he's flying in from Atlanta, so if you want to meet him, that's where he's going to be at, because he was just coming back from San Diego Comic-Con after showing the trailer for season 4. So I was like, this is awesome, because I've been trying to meet him. I felt really awkward going into the airport, because it was one of the first times I ever did that, and I think there was several fans there, and finally saw him come up the escalator. I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then all of a sudden, it burst my bubble, because he was with his family, and I'm like, I'm not going up to him with his family. To me, that's disrespectful. I didn't want to do that, but he walked right over to us, and and I was kind of shocked, and he asked us. He said, "Did you guys see the trailer?" And I said, "Yes." And I said, "I've been trying to meet you for a long time, and I appreciate you coming over." And I said, "I didn't know you had your family, so I apologize." And he's like, "No, don't worry about it." But after several times of meeting, at least Andrew Lincoln, I can speak for this. I know after meeting several times, you can tell a lot of these actors, you have the fans, and then you have like the graphers who are just swarming them and shoving stuff in their face. And one time, I saw Andrew get a little aggravated at some of these people because when he was signing something for me, this was after the first Walker Stalker Con. When he signed, he knew my name. He actually signed my name without me telling me, and he signed, and he spelled it the right way. Super awesome. I still got that picture, because I was like, holy cow, and and other guys are pushing stuff in there, and he got really aggravated, and he wasn't going to sign anybody else's stuff unless they gave him a name. And he was just like, come on, give me a name. And then I saw him again at the next Walker Stalker. And I remember I went up to him and I said, "Look, I'm sorry I was in that crowd with those graphers." I said, because they were kind of being pushy, and I'm sorry. And he goes, and he actually said my name, Sean. And he said, "Hey, hey, Sean, how you doing?" And when I apologized for that, he said, I know, who the fans are and who are graphing. He said, so it's completely fine. I understand that, it's don't worry about it, you're good. And that's what he told me. And, I started that's when I kind of started to really not want to meet him too much, because I didn't want to be that person to, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have to meet him 20 times. I think you get into the excitement of all that, and, it's you got to, I didn't want to do it too much, but I did. And, at some point I was going all the time, and I didn't like doing that after a while because, you got all these other people that never met them. So I would get to the point where I would start helping other people out, meeting other, the other, celebrities and Andrew Lincoln and stuff. And, because, in the community, you want to, I mean, you're happy for yourself, but you want to share that with other people, especially other fans. You want to be able to kind of spread the love. And so that's what we kind of did. One of the other interesting stories I had, and this one meant a lot to me because this was really like a really cool moment that I shared, but they were filming the scene where Michonne was following Rick after the fall of the prison. And you had Carl and Rick, they went into the barbecue shop, remember? Rick was trying to keep up. And so we watched them film that scene where Carl ran out and Rick was trying to follow him. So we were sitting out there. And then we saw later on Michonne coming out, chopping the head off of the zombie, which was super cool. So you got to see that. And it was rare you got to see that. So, but the thing was, that was down in actual Woodbury, Georgia, the actual Woodbury town, somewhere around there. And they turned around and we were with one of the police officers that was there, and we were hanging out with him all day. And I know the crew members were kind of telling us we need to move back, and we need to go all the way down the street. And the cops like, no, this is public property. You can stay right here with me. You're good to go. And we weren't taking pictures. We weren't doing anything to try, that would upset them. But the cop stood up for us, and he was telling me his mother-in-law was a big fan of the show and a huge fan of Rick. And then he was telling me she had cancer. I think she was fighting for her life. And I told him, I said, I'll tell you what, I said, if I ever meet Rick again, give me your information. I will get his signature for you and I will send it to you for your mother-in-law. And I think after that point, it was probably a couple of months before I saw Andrew Lincoln again. And I got him to sign the picture and I sent it to the cop. And he finally wrote me back and he said, you know what, that couldn't have come at the best time. I guess she had battled cancer, and I think she passed away shortly after she got that 8x10. And he said, but it lifted her spirits up. And he said, I honestly wasn't expecting anything from you. And he said that was really nice of you. And I told him, I said that I'm glad. I wish I could do something sooner, but I was glad I can do that. And when you share a moment like that, to me it's special because it's beyond just getting autographs and meeting people. This is something you're doing for somebody, especially somebody that was struggling with something like that. So you try to you try to do that, something nice for them and stuff, and helping them out, because what if I was in that situation, right?
Yeah. Well,
So,
what's the funniest thing that you witnessed at one of the shoots?
So I can tell you at like them shooting something. I remember we watched I think it was funny because they kept doing take after take and they never even used the shot. And that was when the governor and Lily were, burying Lily's father. And we were kind of like up the sidewalks, we were watching, and Greg Nicotero was on set, and he allowed us to sit there because it was one of the first times that we could, that we got to see like a zombie, like getting killed. And so it was only like a couple of us. And so we were sitting there watching, and the zombie would go up, and they had this mattress where he would fall down on, and he'd go up, and he'd shoot, and he'd throw his head back, and he'd fall down. Greg was right next to him, kind of telling him what to do, and we couldn't see because there's some hedges right there along with the fence, and it was I couldn't remember if it was Lily or the governor. It was one of them. They were up there shooting him through the fence, and he would fall. And they did that so many times, and they never even used it. I think they spent like half the day shooting that, and they never used it. I'm like, holy cow! I felt bad for the zombie guy because he kept getting up, getting down, getting up, getting down, and stuff, and not even in the scene. Can you imagine?
I think we had all wished that when they came out with, the collection, the series collection, that they had included outtakes and bloopers and stuff like that. But yeah, that would have been, because you see them posted online, and that would have just been gold to have had a couple of CDs of outtakes and bloopers.
There are definitely not enough bloopers in The Walking Dead collection.
You're absolutely right. One of the bloopers I saw, or one thing that was funny to me, was Josh McDermott during a rap party. He came out like sloshed. And his little his bracelet that he had to get in, he ended up giving it to my niece, who gave it to me because she was more of a Daryl fan, but she gave me his bracelet. But he come out just all drunk and taking pictures, and he couldn't stand. It was funny. I was like, oh my goodness, we're having such a good time in there. We're out here just trying to get pictures. It was funny, but it was really neat, and he was real friendly. He was really nice, and he signed whatever you had, and he took pictures and stuff, and it was just fun. It was really nice to kind of see them kind of relax and enjoy that kind of part of the night and everything. So definitely enjoyed that part of it to see him. So
we're all excited about Josh McDermott choosing the camp.
Yes,
to make his comeback debut for sure.
Yes, I know my wife wants to meet him again. I think she met him one of those nights. It was funny because my wife finally got to meet Andrew. So this kind of happened. We took her when we first started dating. I knew where this was probably. I think this was the last rap party I went to, and I think after that they moved it, and it wasn't at a place where you can get to meet the celebrities anymore. But it was at Stats in downtown Atlanta, and we were kind of getting, we were getting some people, and so we decided to walk down the street to get a coffee because like at nighttime my wife is easily cold, so we went down there. And right at the front desk, and we see, guess who pulls up? The Trinity. You have Andrew Lincoln, Michonne, and Denai, and Norman. All three get out, and all the crowd's up there waiting. So I told my wife, "You better get him now." So she ran over. She left me. She left me at the front desk. She went over and she got a picture with Denai, and Andrew was right there, and my wife wanted a picture, and this grapher was there. And by then, everybody knew that they were down there, so they started coming down here. Oh, and this guy kept signing one thing after another, and Andrew just kept signing and signing and signing. I looked at the dude, I was like, dude, seriously? Like, you have to have 50 pictures signed? Because we were being patient so my wife can get a picture of them. I didn't get a picture with him that night because, like I said, at that point I was getting tired of getting pictures with him. So my wife got a picture with him, and then
tired of getting pictures.
I know.
What's that? Oh, it was fun. He grabbed Ashley and just hugged her, and he signed. He's like, would you want me to sign something? He signed it, and the guy's like, good God, like, how many things you need signed? And what was funny was she went around when Norman was there, and Norman started walking away, and she's like, I said, hey, Norman, I said, she's never met you. Can she get a picture? And he's like, oh, yeah. And Ashley's like, I'm from Canada. He's like, I love Canadians, and I love Canada. And in the picture, when he's hugging him, one of the fans started grabbing him. And I was like, oh, my gosh, here we go. And we got out of there. I was like, nope, don't want to be a part of that. So she got the three of them, luckily, like before everybody else. And then after that, they were surrounded. But like Rosita, and I don't remember their real names. Sometimes I forget, but the lady that played Rosita. Then you have Lauren and Lily's sister, Alana. So them three, they never stopped and took pictures at any of the rap parties. They would just get out and just beeline it straight to the restaurant. They didn't play that. They weren't taking pictures with anybody. But the one time I did get to meet Lauren Cohen, and she done some conventions. Every convention up to like season 4, she would cancel or wouldn't make it or whatever. And so I started calling her mom. Yeah, there you go. This is what I'm about to tell you about. So that day was such a great day because like Chris Hardwick was out there. Alana came over. So did Glenn.
Yeah, that one I'm jealous over. Chris Hardwick.
Yeah. So
I'm jealous over the Chris Hardwick one too, for sure.
Oh yeah, he came over, and while we were messing with him, Lauren comes over, and one of my friend Marlene, she was like, "Oh my God, Lauren's over there." So I went over there, and I was shaking so bad because I was like, "Oh my God, I'm finally getting my white whale." You can see in the picture where she's taking the selfie, and she had to take it for me, and I was she's taking a picture. And because I was shaking so bad, and she was such a sweetheart that day. And if you've been Walker stalking, she doesn't really come out a lot. I think just a handful of times she's come out to meet fans, but that was one of the days. And everybody was with Chris Hardwick and Stephen Yeun when he came out, and she kind of snuck over on the other side of the crowd, and it was almost like just pandemonium because you were like, oh my goodness, you got some over here, you got some of the sleds over here and stuff. But it was a fun time. I mean, you leave feeling accomplished. You're like, man, that was such a great day. Because there's been plenty of days we sat out in that Georgia heat and nothing. Yeah, and that's happened more times than not. So
how is Chris Hardwick?
He was awesome. He was such a great guy, you know. He was very friendly. You know, he took the time to listen to the fans and stuff, and he took time for everybody. He made sure everybody had an autograph and everybody had a picture. He took his time with all the fans. Everybody else kind of came out. I think Steven, you know, they were out there for most of the time, but you know, they a lot of them would go back in, and you know, some of them, you know, because they couldn't stay out. They were out there for, you know, a quick minute to meet the fans, but
Barb
you know,
and Dawn, you guys met Lauren at Dragon Con, and she was great, wasn't she? Were you there too, Carol?
I think so.
Yeah. And they said she was great.
Yeah, there's a story with her, and this is kind of embarrassing. I'll tell you a little bit of an embarrassing story. My wife doesn't let me live this down. So this is embarrassing, right? And if you think about it, it's like, damn, that kind of does seem like that's I don't know. I guess creepy would sound the word. I guess I don't know. I ain't trying to put myself out there, but you know, you see Lauren, she's hugging all these people and stuff, and I'm like, I go up to her and I said, "Hey, can I get a hug?" And she's like, "How about a thumbs up?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay." I was like, okay. And then I made the mistake to tell my wife that. And she just, every time she sees me or she gets mad at me or upset, she gives me a thumbs up. And that's exactly what like, you ain't getting a hug, you're getting a thumbs up. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And I was like, man, I just felt weird after that. I was like, so that was an embarrassing moment.
You're not living that one down, Sean. When we see you at the camp, it's going to be.
We're all going to do it.
Oh, I just think awesome.
I want to make you a T-shirt now. So just a big thumbs up on it. Oh
God, please don't. You guys, my wife can hop on that train big time.
Yeah.
So,
you know,
everyone of the cast that you've met, what has been your best experience?
My best experience would happen to be probably meeting, let's see, probably talking to, so I love talking to Gail Ann Hurd, and I met her, I think, that same day. And because she was rare to come out and meet people, and a lot of people weren't, you know, they probably didn't know, like, some of the stuff that she had her hands in, you know, besides being married to James Cameron.
Yeah.
But, you know, she was really awesome, and she was like so appreciative of the fans, and, you know, she just, I mean, just everything she's done, she's, you know, every successful movie, just about, you know, you think about it, like blockbuster movies, she's had a part in, you know, Terminator, Aliens. So, you know, to get a chance to meet real Hollywood royalty, it was really neat to kind of talk to her. And I just enjoyed just, you know, because she spent the time talking and stuff. And it was like, you could tell she was very appreciative of the fans, and she knows, she's been in the business long enough to know. So
have you met Samantha?
Yes, actually I have. And it was funny because we talked to Greg Nicotero, right? Of course I met Samantha, right?
His name. Stop dropping his now. Elisa's dead.
Who? So, anyways, so Samantha, a funny thing about that, Greg Nicotero gave me his email. We would talk back and forth every once in a while.
Stop it.
Stop it. Okay.
So
show's over. Show's over.
I mean, you know, it's not like we talk all the time because he's a busy guy. Right?
Carol's down.
Carol's
down. You got dropping like flies, right? Did she really fall over? Someone might get a paramedic over there. She got Rick. She's good.
Next thing you're gonna know is he's gonna tell me he has Ross's phone number too.
No, I don't got his.
If he's got Samantha's phone number and Greg's, Carol and I are done.
I wish I had Samantha's phone number, but
what?
I don't have her phone number. I wish I did. She, you know, she's a sweetheart. She every once in a while gives me a thumbs up on Instagram. She posts something, you know, and she's a sweetheart. But we were talking to Greg Nicotero. I remember we went up. We were dressed as Alpha and Beta, and we had told him a story about how we lost our child. You know, 10 weeks old. We had a miscarriage, and we were telling him about that and stuff. And you know, he was really sympathetic. I think my wife broke down and it was kind of just telling him the story because at that time we were dealing with a lot of stuff. And somewhere along the lines, he was, well, let me do something for you, because I bought him a replica ship of from Jaws. You know, he's a big Jaws fan.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the lines, I don't remember exactly how it came about, but he was like, you know, who would you like to meet? And this was at the convention. And my wife's like, Samantha Morton, like straight up. She was like, she wasn't even going to hesitate. So he actually went over to Samantha's line. The only time she went to convention here, and she got out of her table and came over and talked to us personally, just me and Ashley. And it was like, holy cow, because she had a whole line and everything. And Greg got her to come over and talk to us. And it was just such a cool experience. And I just for her to take time to talk to us, like, we're nobodies, right?
Was that
But
Walker Stalker 2019?
Yeah, because that's all.
'Cause I was there.
Yeah.
I was there.
Were you
all
there?
that
See,
she did.
so
I
you
was
probably
there.
wouldn't- So that's when she came up there, because I remember our photo op never showed up. So they had problems. If you were there, like it was such a mess the last Walker Stalker con.
Yep.
I've told Casey and Oscar that I will buy her plane ticket here to the United States if they'll book her. And they say that they've reached out to her manager like a dozen times, and all her manager says is she's filming. So
I know
we don't even know if she's actually, because I had heard someone say that she wasn't getting invited, and I'm kind of like, I want to jump up and down with flags going, yes you are, yes you are, yes you are.
Yeah, she told somebody I know that has talked to her once in a great while. Like she stays pretty busy, and they don't by any means have like any kind of relationship, but they've talked to her I think once in a while, and she did say that she didn't get invited to a lot of these things, which surprised me, because I'm like, how do you not get invited with like the character that you played and all that other stuff? And
the managers aren't getting the information and relaying it to the actors.
I definitely think that's the case, because I think she would jump at the fact of coming down here. And I was telling Dawn, I asked my friend to maybe relay some information about maybe doing a podcast with you guys, but I don't think she ever got back with them. So, hey, I tried, right? Like whatever little channels I know, I tried. But yeah, it's gonna happen, I guess.
I think I peed a little.
Now you sound like my wife.
Oh, I think I peed a little. Yeah, I've messaged her. She had commented several times on several things that I've posted on her Instagram.
Yeah.
And I've sent her several messages, but she never sees those. But about coming on the podcast, yes, I do, Maria, need CPR. Because I just need to shut up about Samantha, because it's her whole life is what draws me to her life story. And
my wife can tell you a lot more about her than I can. My wife absolutely loves all her movies and stuff, and that's really one of her favorite actresses is definitely Samantha. So it's so I get that, and the fact that she played such a badass character in The Walking Dead, definitely should have been there a lot longer. But me and my wife always, because she plays the part of Alpha and I'll play Beta at these conventions sometimes, and I'm always telling her, I was like, well, see, your character died because she was trying to get a freak on while Beta was trying to, keep the herd together. With old Negan, Negan, she thought she was going to get somewhere with him. Negan's like, and I told my wife, and she's like, in an alternate universe.
It's not a bad way to go, brother.
No, it ain't. I guess I wouldn't know. Like, I'd
the whole time you're coming, you're going.
Yeah, exactly right.
So, Sean, tell us about when you started collecting things, because when I look, and I know we've all kind of stalked your Facebook page to look at stuff, and you've got a lot of really cool collectibles above and beyond The Walking Dead. So, when did you start into collecting memorabilia?
So I'd have to say it was probably shortly after I got out of the military. One thing me and my dad used to really get into were watching movies together. Me and my dad didn't really share a lot of common interests, other than the fact we were both in the military, but we really enjoyed just movies in general. And then I think, when Facebook came out, you start going to all these groups and stuff, and I came across a prop site and I started looking at some things, and I'm like, oh, this looks really cool. And so someone turned me on to the Prop Store, which is a big old memorabilia site that, auctions off stuff and everything. So
Elise was like, where's this place? What is this?
now I could definitely send you the link if you want me to. 'Cause,
No, don't.
You sure? It ain't that bad. The good thing about them is that they don't sell stuff. You can usually make a deal with them if things don't sell off an auction, which is good. But I will have to admit, if you bid on an auction and you win, their auction prices are ridiculous. Like you may pay for what you're paying for the item, but you got to pay a 25% fee and stuff. It sucks. I hate it. I'm like, I probably won't be doing much more of that just because I want to take my funds and spend more time with the family and do things with that. Because it's just stuff in the end, right? Like I enjoy it, but like my wife says, what does it do? Well, I just hangs on my wall and I look at it. She's like, is that all it does? And I'm like, okay, I got the point,
Makes me
And then,
happy.
yeah. Well, it does. Yeah. So this right here, I actually got lucky because a buddy of mine told me that they were selling these, and I didn't understand the whole color code behind the arrow until the lady at the Woodbury shop told me, this is Maggie's, and the reason that, because everybody was using arrows, they color coded them to each character. So this one being red and black, and as you can see in the photo, was actually red and black, was one of Maggie's arrows. So that's how I know I had Maggie's arrow. And I said, hey, look, can I, I'm up in Indianapolis, I come down every once in a while. If you guys can hold on to it, I would greatly appreciate it. And they were like, yeah, no problem. It was the last one. So I ended up getting it. And, I got it hanging up in my little, man cave in the house and everything, along with one of the arrows from the Reavers episode with the big old dynamite on it. So I have those two.
One of the watcha.
Yeah. I can't say. I wasn't going to try to butcher it up. I was going to let one of y'all butcher that up. So this one, let me tell you what makes this one significant. So I got this from a good friend of mine who got it from the prop guy. And when he showed it to me, I ended up, when you're buying props and stuff and you're going to spend some money on it, you want to look at things to make sure that it matches to what's on screen because, let's face it, people will make money or, scam you off of things and stuff.
Oh, yeah. So
the Terminus sign, I did a lot of research before I bought it and everything matched up and where the source came from, it was a legit source and everything. So the guy ended up hooking me up with it. So the interesting part is I was there that day they were filming that scene because we were right behind where Nick and Norman's, that parking lot, that gravel parking lot behind Nick and Norman's is where we were sitting there. And you can kind of walk out towards like where that building is where they tortured Andrea. You go out there and you can kind of see when they were resetting and getting ready to film and stuff. And you can see the big box car and you can see Michonne, Rick, and Carl out there. And they kept going back and forth to, in the sign. And you could see that sign where we were standing at, but you couldn't read exactly what it said because we were a little bit far off. And when they say action, they would have to move us off to the side because it would be in the shot and everything. So, but that holds a great significance to me because I was there for that, and it was just so cool to now own that piece. And plus, come on, it's Terminus, right? Like, how freaky is it to have something like that? So
That's right. Yeah.
So the Woodbury sign is one of the props that they had hanging in season 3 of Woodbury, and I came across that from another collector who was ready to get rid of it. So I took it off his hands. I was like, why not, right?
One of the light poles is what you're saying.
Yeah, it was hanging off one of the light poles, and I think there were like 8 or 10 of them. There weren't many of them out there. But again, I looked at the still shots and stuff to make sure I wasn't getting taken for, and it's really made of a heavy vinyl. It's real well made, and I was like, I mean, you don't see anything from Woodbury like that coming up too often. So when that came up, I had to have it because now I got the Terminus community, Woodbury, and I also got the Commonwealth and stuff as you see behind me. But the Beta chairback and Alicia from season, I want to say it's season 6 from Fear the Walking Dead. These are the chairbacks that they would sit in, and when they were waiting to film and stuff like that. So I was lucky enough to get the Beta one, the Alpha one disappeared. Someone got it, so I didn't get a chance to get the Alpha one. Looking at you, Eliza.
I don't have it.
So, but I tried to find out who bought that so I can maybe offer something to Alpha and Beta, but I don't think they'll get rid of it. So, and then the Alicia one was cool because you don't see a lot of Fear the Walking Dead props at all coming up, and when I saw that, I was like, it's pretty nice to have, and I met her. So
there's a couple out there now, Sean, on eBay from prop master of Madison and Strand and.
Yeah, now I'll tell you, that's where I got the Alicia one from, and I'll tell you what, he'll make a deal with you if you ladies ever want anything. I don't need like so many of them and everything. So I was like, my wife's gonna kill me. Yeah, I can't fit anything else on the wall. As you see, it's all like this is just like a section. You don't see around the garage and the other room I have.
Well,
So
we can take some of that off your hands.
you guys are awesome. See, I knew that. I'm just matter of fact, I'll drive it up to you personally. Sound good? Can we do
Yeah, we'll
that?
see if yeah.
We'll just come to your house and go shopping.
Yeah, that's right. We'll bring her credit cards.
My wife would love that. She would invite you with open arms. And she would probably sell it for a lot less than I paid for it. A lot less.
We're gonna be wheeling and dealing with Ashley at the camp, going, okay, what else has Sean got that you think can just magically disappear?
Yeah.
We'll just have her take her over to y'all's house while you're at the camp. We'll go home with Ashley for a couple of hours.
Yeah, and I'd be like, what, have you ever seen that episode with what was it, The Big Bang Theory, where he was dating Penny, and Penny was like secretly taking stuff and selling it or something? And I swear, my wife watched that episode about 3 or 4 times, and I'm like, oh.
Yes.
Do you have anything related to Andrew Lincoln?
I do not.
Make girls jealous?
Well, the only thing that I might have is a
The
door
blue
handle.
boxers. You've got the blue boxers.
No, I don't have those. Oh no. So, what's funny is my wife tells me, and this is true, right? This is very, very true, especially because I collect. Well, I'm not collecting anymore. I'm kind of quitting because it's too much money, right? It's way too much. But I collected a lot of like football gear, like Seattle Seahawks. I'm a huge fan. And my wife said, "You paid how much for someone else's used laundry?" And I'm like, "Damn, you're right. Like, you absolutely right. It's like they wore this stuff. They probably didn't wash it. Didn't smell like they washed it." And I'm like, damn,
that's what I want. The blue boxers, Sean. I want them blue boxers.
I don't have the boxers. I promise you, I don't. Because that would be weird if I bet on his boxers. What's
they're
that?
stanky. He wore them for 7 or 8 years. That same pair. They got crusty.
So they're nice and saturated, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'd have to pass on that. I mean,
So you basically don't have anything about Andy.
No, the only thing that I have come close to is like a door handle. He tied something to when him and Carl were in that house after the fall of the prison. That's it. That's it. I don't,
Kramer's house.
Yeah, exactly. The Claimer house. I got the door handles to that. So I had a friend hook me up with that, and
That's cool.
yeah. So I still have that. I actually got it displayed to one of my display cases. But one of the things I have too, which is really neat, is I've got a lot of like I got a custom made Shane figure, which is awesome. If you guys want, I'll show it to you real quick. You're gonna like this.
Aliza wants to see it. That's her new obsession.
You know what? I'm gonna send it to her. It'll probably come back with the clothes off or something.
Probably.
So these are 2 custom figures that I've gotten, and there's a huge market for this. The thing is, you have to find someone that knows what they're doing. But I got this Shane one, and as you can see, like this thing is very detailed. Like it's actually like they put a lot of detail into this.
Does
and
his
stuff.
clothes come off?
Yes.
Well, I tell you what, man, y'all crazy, man. I tell you what, my daughter would probably like try that. She'd be like, "Oh, look at these figures, and they weren't so scary." And then the other one I have, of course, has to be Beta.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool too.
That's awesome. Who made those? Where did you find those at?
So the Shane one I found off of eBay. Ironically, the guy, I guess, you don't see a lot. I see a lot of Shane ones. They're not really greatly made, but this one was like just the detail and the way that the clothes fit, like like it's shown on one of these figures and stuff. But I got that off of eBay. What's I don't even what's that?
I was asking if it had all its parts.
I don't know. I haven't taken them off yet. I'll tell you what. When you come to the camp, I'll bring them to you, and I'll let you. You can.
I would play Barbie again if I had.
Can you just see like the 4 of us? We're like taking Shane's pants off, we're huddled in a circle trying to figure out what the doll.
Hold on. I'll check. Let me feel.
You bring them to camp. You ain't going back home with them. You know that.
I'll be like, I'm a Barbie girl.
I'll get the pants, right? I'll be like, I don't know where the rest of the figure is, but these ladies, they looked at it, took it to the bathroom, never got it back. What the hell?
And now we'll know why Aliza won't be on the podcast anymore. Where is Aliza?
Come out and have to go get a cigarette.
Like, I'm so refreshed right now. I'm about to go back in for seconds, ladies. You got me?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, do you have anything of the governors or Lance Hornsby?
I do not. I do not. I wish I did. The governor would be really hard. I haven't seen too much of his stuff come up other than like I think on the auction that the same auction that I got Samantha Morton stuff on. I think they had like an eye patch or something on there. I think from the
Yeah.
governor.
Yeah.
So, but it was kind of one of those things. Like these things were going pretty expensive, and it
I
was
got
like,
his books from his desk.
well, oh, you do?
Mhm.
That's really cool. And see, that's what I love to hear. I love to see like other people's collections and stuff, and people are like, oh, you got all this cool stuff. And I'm like, it's neat, but like anything from the show that you can get, I think is really neat. It doesn't matter what it is, because if you're a fan of the show, you're a fan of the show, and anything from the show is really neat. I definitely enjoy it.
Dawn got me a plate from the flashback where everybody was at the dinner table, like
Yeah.
if Glenn and Abraham were alive, and I've got Ross Marquand's plate that he had in front of him, and then I had him sign it for me.
Oh, really?
Dawn
That's
got me that, and I also got his shirt from season 7, I think it was.
That's really cool. See, you got some cool stuff there. And then
Here we go. Here it is. It's the governor's
His books.
apartment, and it has his book.
oh wow, that's really cool. Like
It
I
has the
haven't
art
seen
of
much.
war.
Yeah.
And I have the table that was sitting on the stage on the throne room of King Ezekiel's.
Oh, really?
It's my desk in my office. Yeah.
That's so cool. See, I would love to get some furniture, but like I just I don't have any room for it, like anything else. I really don't. I wish I did. I've got a couple of statues, the Walking Dead. I got like the Rick and the Lauren Cohan one, and and it's just like I said, I don't have a lot of room to put a lot of this stuff anymore. It'd probably take about 2 hours to kind of show you each piece that I have and all that other stuff.
I got a few things, but
If I don't ask this, he wants to know if you have any stuff from Daryl.
I do not. Nothing. See, I'm not a big Daryl fan. I think he should have died like a long time ago.
Oh,
That was me.
Oh, here comes the haters.
I'm not a hater, right? Like, but change your hairstyle or something. Rick had a beard. You think by this time that Daryl would have some kind of full beard or something, right?
Yeah, he can shave his beard, but he can't cut his hair and wash it, right?
He sure can't, man. I'm like, you wear the same clothes too. Rick, like each season has like a different outfit, and yeah, I don't know.
Regina says you lost her. Sorry.
Oh man, yeah. I know it's not a very popular one, but me personally, my favorite character on the show, hands down, is Shane. Hands down. The man. You see, I'm telling you, his character, the way that he played it, and the fact that this man was right from the get-go, tells me that he would have survived if he did. Yep, there you go. And I tell you what, that man, and anything he plays, he's good. He's really good. Everything, from the Marvel stuff to
even when he's not playing a character on his podcast, he is fan-freaking-tastic.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell you another embarrassing story. When I went up to him and I said, and he was in The Wolf of Wall Street and he played a good part.
Yes.
When I went up and talked to him, I was like, hey, I loved you in Pain and Gain. And I was like, and he's like, oh, thank you and stuff. And I was like, I didn't think nothing of it. So the next day we were in line with somebody else. And the guy behind me was like, yeah, some guy was, talking to John Bernthal about being in some show. And he was like, yeah, and we walked away. He looked at me. He was like, I was never in that show. And I'm like, that was me. I Pain and Gain. And he's like, yeah. I was like, when I walked away, I realized I said the wrong movie. And I was like, I meant The Wolf of Wall Street. And it was like embarrassing. Even though you found out like the next day that he realized I said something different, you're like, oh, just embarrassing. I'm like, how did I think that? But
So tell us about the beta stuff.
So probably one of the more expensive things I've gotten, and thank God I was the only person that bid on it. And I probably overpaid a little bit for it, but that to me, like it's kind of like one of the last props I really want to get. I've already got like a beta shirt that was for him in the show, but it was never used. It was kind of like a backup shirt. So to have that was pretty neat off of that auction or that big old estate sale that they had. And to get the jacket when that came up, my wife was even, you have to have it. That's I don't think she really liked the fact that I, paid some money for it, but it was it's my favorite character. I cosplay this guy, and
Yeah.
to actually own something that he wore, something iconic like that is really cool. So,
Are you
I'm
going to get
super
a mannequin and put it on a mannequin?
Yeah, I want to get a mannequin and put it on there at some point. And then the Alpha dress.
Have you ever worn it?
I haven't got it yet. I'm still waiting for it to come in. It's they take a little bit, but when I get it, I will send you guys pictures of it and stuff. And so this dress right here. This dress actually still has some blood on it when she decapitated everybody. I didn't realize that. It's got a little bit of blood stains around, I think, the collar here and everything, which is really cool. There was another one going around that I think it was like a backup dress, but you can tell this was actually clearly worn in a scene that they killed somebody with.
So when she killed the woman who wore it, she cut her face off. So that's probably where the blood was
from. Yeah. And the straw
I'm still
hat and everything.
salty. So for everybody in the audience, was it last year, Sean, or the year and a half ago, Golden Auctions had some of the hero items, which meant that they were used by the actor on screen and went up for auction. Right. And little did we know until last year that Sean and I were the ones who were bidding against each other for the Alpha ensemble. And so, yeah, I'm a little salty. But I know it's at a good home.
But don't worry. Like I said, if I ever decide to sell it, I promise you'll be the one I'll call. I promise you. I give you my word, and I will do that, most definitely.
And there was, that was where Negan's baseball bat, I think, went for like $50,000. And come to find out, Demi Lovato actually bought that.
Really?
The singer. Yeah.
That's really neat for some of these people that, these celebrities are into this stuff.
Yeah,
the Rick one, they had the Rick one where he was torn up after the fall of, that actually went to Prop Store. It was in the same auction that the Beta Jacket was in. So whoever bought it decided to resell it. And I don't know if they made any more money off of it or not. I think they probably lost money off of it. But it was, I thought real hard about getting something like that, but I was like, I just can't afford it. And it's just, these props are nice to have, but they get expensive and you got to be responsible. One thing I was not when I was single was responsible. So now that you're married and you have a kid,
got to be responsible.
Exactly. You got to. So it's hard, but my kid will get all this stuff when, whatever's mine, it's gonna be passed down to her. So she's lucky, right? She'll get to keep a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, and I told the girls in the group they got to come and take what they want from me. My room's full.
Oh, my wife would be like, I don't know what it is or how much it is. I just want to get rid of it. And I'm like, no, you understand you can get money off of this stuff. At least what I paid for it, at least, right? Just don't just give it to Goodwill. Like you'll find that dress in Goodwill one day and you'll be like, dang, someone got this for free. It's just do
not put that in Goodwill. I will come find you and
it won't be me. I'll be dead and buried. You got to take it up with Ashley.
Ashley, no.
We actually cosplay, and I don't think anybody recognized it because no one really said anything, and I've never seen it before. But me and Ashley cosplayed as Alpha and Beta when they first met. With the gray mask on and stuff. And the mask I was wearing sucked. I hated it, so I didn't stay in it long. But we got pictures of us, taken. I should have sent you one of them, but it was a cool thing, to be able to get pictures like that and everything. And my daughter, we dressed her up one time. I think I sent you a picture of her. I was dressed as Beta, and I was holding her hand. She was dressed like there you go. She was dressed as Judith. So
yeah.
And then one of my other characters is how my wife found me was the governor, and this is Yulin Womble. And if you ladies know who she is, she was the costume designer for Walking Dead for many, many years. And she came up to me, and she was she saw she saw my costume, and she gave me such a huge compliment. She was like, oh my gosh, she was checking out my jacket, and she said, this is insane. It looks like it's off the set. Such a huge compliment coming from her. So I got a picture with her, and it was by far one of the best comments I've had today, just doing that. Wow, because she designed that, right? I mean, she got all that together and everything, so it was really neat.
And how tall are you, Sean?
6'3".
Okay, so you're right up there with Ryan.
Yes, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, Hulk Hogan, they're all like the same size of me, which is really weird. I think the only celebrity I met that was bigger than me was The Big Show, and he made me look small.
Oh, he makes everybody
Yeah.
look small.
Yeah, it was really neat, but I'm hoping my size will kind of get me into more, background stuff and everything in these, movies and TV shows. I've got a prison uniform. I'm going to be, take one of the casting agencies I've got a profile set up for. They want you to take different shots of different things, like in different outfits, and see where you fit it and stuff. And of course, I missed the Walking Dead train, so I'm trying to get on a different train so I can, be a part of it. Like I was just on the set of Cobra Kai last week for a couple of days, and I absolutely loved it. And they had the entire cast there, which is really cool. So it was really neat to kind of experience that and be a part of that. As much as I wish I was Walking Dead, I got to do something even cool. Just as
Well,
cool by.
Isn't Lance on there now too, guys? Isn't that what he told us? He's on Cobra Kai. Lance
I think
Arota.
he was on the
He-
recent one.
Yeah, I don't know about recent, but he was a stunt double.
Oh,
Yeah.
on
And
Cobra
in
Kai.
some scenes, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
was he? See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that at
Mhm.
all. That's really neat. I'd have to ask him when I see him at the camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, Winslow.
Yeah, so I definitely it's pretty neat. I just me and my wife met because of The Walking Dead and just like with you ladies, we've become a community and we all really it's just an honor to be on the show and talk to you ladies and get to share that. When Walker Soccer went away, it was kind of like, it sucked, because it was like that was a place that, we all can kind of come together. And then when the camp started, it was a place that started that back up, and it's really neat to be a part of that and see it grow into what it is now. And I can care less about the celebrities. I just love meeting you guys and just hanging out. I mean,
Yes.
That's what
that's
we say. I mean, it's a family reunion, and the celebrities are just kind of the cherry on top.
it is, and
Yes.
and then meeting.
Yeah, she does need a Shane cutout. Absolutely.
I tell you what, I'm just so blessed that my wife reached out to me, and we got married in Sonoya. And next month we're actually going to be renewing our vows at the gazebo in downtown Sonoya again. And yeah, it's that's where we got married, and it's kind of like where we first met. And then of course we named our daughter Georgia because we met in Georgia. And so all that ties into just this fandom and meeting people. And it's amazing how it just takes on its own form, if you let it. And I've
When
met
will
some of
you
my
be
best
doing your
friends.
vows?
It will be May 21st at 3:00, and anybody's welcome to come and
That's the
say
day
hi.
I'm driving in, so maybe I'll get there soon enough to run
Yeah.
by and say hi. I may look like a roadkill, but I'll come by and say hi.
Listen, you're more than welcome to. It's at 3:00. Just message me. But if you don't make it to the ceremony, we can definitely get something to drink or eat. Meet up afterwards. That would be fun.
Yeah.
And you're more than welcome. To come over and check the house out and everything, and just reach out.
We're going. Me and Barb's going.
Come on. I mean, it's I love to share this stuff with like-minded people like yourselves, ladies.
I get to go first, so I'll be there on the 21st. You guys won't. I'm taking
Dawn,
my
Dawn, I'm game.
So
Let's
you get
go
the
beat
VIP
Elisa there.
treatment. So
We
hold
get
on,
first dibs.
I want to show you guys something real quick. Hold on a second.
Dawn, I'm game. Let's go.
Okay, so I wanted to do something for you ladies, and so I've got this right here. It's a replica of Merle's arm signed by Merle, and I wanted to give it to you ladies to do whatever auction off or do whatever you ladies would like to do with it. And
Oh wow!
it's where he gets, he's got some blood on there and stuff like that. It's well made and stuff. It's got his arm and everything. But I wanted to kind of donate this to you ladies to help with your podcast and do whatever you guys would like to do with it to help you ladies out. So I wanted to do that for you guys because
Sean, that is so incredibly generous.
Yes.
well, I love your podcast. I think what you guys are doing is great, and the fact that it's all ladies, it's just awesome. It's nice to see that. So
And you can
It's-
throw
it's-
little Shane in there if you need to.
Lisa's
He
not
talks
too
to me, and
proud
I
to
have to
beg.
ask him. But when you guys come down, I'll give you the arm, and you guys, like I said, you guys can use it for to maybe boost up some funds for your podcast or a contest or something, whatever you guys want to do. It's up to you guys. But I wanted to
Very
give
sweet.
that to you.
Thank
So,
you. That is incredibly generous
That's awesome.
and kind of you.
Yeah, well, I'm just glad I get to be a part of this. I think it's pretty neat. I've always kind of wanted to do something like this, but I was always too shy to ask, or I didn't want to feel like I was. I don't know. I felt like I was ready to do it, and like I said, I've been a part of this whole thing for a very long time. But I'm not out there. Hey, look at me. I'm doing this and that. I've got burned by some people that took a lot of the stuff that I've done and. They've taken credit for things and did things I've asked them not to do when it's
Yeah.
it sucks, right? Because it ruined it for a lot of people and it ruined it for for a lot of people and it ruined it for me and it's sad because that's where the double-edged sword comes in with doing stuff like that. But there's also a lot of great parts in it and stuff like that, and I'm glad to be a part of it. I don't you're always going to have some bad with the good, but I definitely enjoy like just being around people with The Walking Dead because
So what is your most prized possession that you own that's a memorabilia from the show?
From the show, my most prized possession isn't actually a prop; it's a photo. It's a photo of the Grimes family. It is with Carl, Rick, and Lori, and there was only 25 of those photos. There you go, right there. That's it. Now the funny thing is that you don't see here. I actually blew this up to an 11 by 14, and I had all three of them sign it. From the Grimes family.
Wow.
Andrew signed it. He said, he signed Andrew Lincoln from Rick Grimes, the Grimes family, and Lori did the same thing. And you can't buy that. Like you can't go out and buy one of those photo ops. It was, I think, one of 25, and you'll never probably ever get it again. So, to me, that's one of my most prized possessions because you got the family, when they're in their infancy, like in season, 4, 3 or 4, 5, I can't remember when it was taken, but that was, that's when they were all together and it was fun and you enjoyed it back then. So that's probably my most prized possession. I love it, because not a lot of people have it. And when people saw it, I was trying to get it signed. They're like, "Oh, that's freaking cool." I was like, "I know, right?"
Yeah.
So. What about y'all? What's some of y'all's prized possessions?
Ooh.
I would have to say, I have, of course, I think my most treasured ones are the pictures that I have with the fam.
Yeah.
Those are my absolute favorites. But as far as props go, probably my King Ezekiel table.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'd have to say my group TWD photo op with the family.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I don't know, I have a lot of little things, but I'd have to say I like the plate that Dawn got me, and I like the shirt that I have from Ross, because I actually brought it to him for verification. So
yeah, I remember seeing the pictures. That's cool.
Got a lot of good stuff, but that's the ones that pop out of my mind.
Yeah.
Dawn?
All our crazy location pictures where we reenact. I love those.
Yeah.
But probably my prized possession is my Andrew Lincoln hat that's signed by Andrew and Kaylee, and I'm going to get Chandler to sign it at the camp.
Well,
Nice.
I've got too much.
You never have too much.
So I have shortly after Sam left the show, she was doing an online auction for a girls' school in South Africa. And because I follow her on Instagram, I happened to see it. And she was auctioning off her hoodie jacket from season 10 and autographed. And then it has Samantha and Alpha, and then a copy of her script from Harlots. And I was the only one that bid. And so,
that's
so I
awesome.
have that in a shadow box frame. And then I have one of Herschel's shirts, and I have Scott Wilson's autograph. And then the family, for one of my birthdays, got me a copy of the script signed by Scott Wilson. And so I have it in a shadow box. And then I have a pilot script signed by Robert Kirkman and Greg Nicotero, or not Robert Kirkman, but Frank Darabont and Greg Nicotero. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, those are some of my prizes right there.
I think my prized possession would probably have to be the Beta jacket. Just getting that, knowing that he wore it and stuff like that. And then, like I said, the Terminus one are my two favorite props that I have.
It's a good thing you didn't say Alpha's dress.
That's probably my wife's favorite. She's not into all that, but she's like, I do like that. It is really cool. And I think I bought a replica dress so she can wear it. I think she was talking about maybe wearing it at the camp this year. So we'll have to wait and see, what she feels like. I know she talked about it, but we got the wig, we got the hat, and we got the replica dress. So.
Well, you'll be happy to hear, Sean, that Regina says that she likes you again.
Oh, she likes me again? Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. As long as you're not throwing eggs at me when you see me, I think I'll
There you go. There you go.
She'll give you a thumbs up.
Yeah.
That's almost a destiny to say anything about Norman Reedus, but I will tell you one thing. I do own his outfit from a movie called Pandorum. And I don't know if you've seen around like the internet, they used to have this death scene where they said, oh my God, he dies in The Walking Dead. He's hanging, from the neck and his guts are hanging out. That's the actual uniform I have. It's all bloodied up. The stomach's all ripped open. On the suit and everything.
Nice.
So that I do have of Norman Reedus. It wasn't from Walking Dead, but it was from a movie that he was in.
Wow.
So he wore it. So yes.
Regina is showing her big eyes. She's like, what?
Yeah, and it stinks too. I don't think they wash that sucker either. There's still blood and stuff in it.
Don't wash it. Don't wash it.
Yeah, no, I'm not. If I watch it, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of Daryl fans who are going to hate me just for that.
That's why when you're perusing the internet and you see those blue panties, let me know.
$5 for a smell. I'm just going to set up a booth up there. $5 for a smell, right? Beta $7. Norman Reedus' outfit is still Norman Reedus' smell, right? So $5, right?
You're forgetting who you're talking to. You need to do $20 for a lick.
$20 for a lick.
I'm going to buy a cheeseburger.
They'll be bringing little Q-tip swabs to get DNA.
Oh, man, yeah. I'm going to be like, this mannequin's missing his underwear. Who the hell was on Eliza? Okay, we'll watch her.
Yeah, where's Carol? Where'd she do?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, now you got me nervous and scared now when you guys come down. I'm like, oh, we're going on vacation. These ladies are coming down. Oh, no, we're in trouble.
You just better be glad you don't have a pair of blue boxers or you would be in some serious trouble.
Yeah, I know. I'd be like, ooh. And my wife wouldn't care either. She'd be like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm going to tie Ashley up in a hot, fast second, brother. Don't try to tempt me.
Yeah, don't tempt her. I should say. She'd be like, oh, look, he's out on set doing something. You guys want to come over and, look through his stuff?
Exactly.
That's funny.
Oh, my goodness. You guys are crazy.
So do we have any other questions for Sean, or are we going to do the questions, or what?
Yeah, let's do them.
Okay. I can't see the questions. I don't know if I have to pull something up.
No.
But,
So we end our interviews with all of our special guests with the James Lipton questions. And James Lipton's was the host of Inside the Actor Studio. And so we go through his 10 or 12 questions, and Barb and Dawn have a couple that they add on. So we would like to do those with you. So
okay.
Anything game.
Okay.
All right, Sean, here's the biggie. All right. What's your favorite curse word?
The F word. Fuck. Can I say that? The
Yeah.
F word. Yeah. I say that. I probably should be saying it. It's all fun and games until my daughter starts saying it, and I'm like, "Ooh."
That's right. You got a parrot in the house.
Yeah. So that's probably my first one. Yeah, and I say to myself a lot of times, not like I'm cussing them out. I'm like, "What the fuck did I do with my fucking keys?" And, you start doing that, you're like, "Oh my goodness, man, I gotta dropping a lot of F-bombs." So yeah, that would probably be my favorite one, I would say.
Other than cuss words, what is your favorite word?
My favorite word? Probably I say it every damn time somebody asks me something. And I do it without even realizing it. So probably is my favorite word that I hate saying, but I do it anyway. So I'll do it like 5 more times.
That's great.
What's your least favorite word?
No. Can I get that, Ashley? No.
No.
No, that's not no is not my favorite word. I hate that word.
So, Barb?
What turns you on?
My wife. Especially when she in that when she in
Good
that
answer.
when
Good
she in that
answer.
alpha outfit, let me tell you, so that mask and stuff like that, I'm like, ooh, she can't hear me either.
Keep your black socks
I
on.
said,
Keep your
oh,
black socks
Ashley.
on.
She's like, my name ain't Ashley, bitch. It's Alpha. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Ooh.
Oh damn.
That's how we roll. That's just how we roll. Like,
Now I know I'm going to bring you both a pair of black socks at the camp.
That's right. Getting some
Oh,
black.
God. What turns you off?
what turns me off?
Being
damn,
told no.
Yeah, I get being told no. I don't know. I mean, that should be an easy one, like a dude hitting on me or something. I don't know. No, actually, I think that's very flattering if a guy comes up and hits on me. I really do, because I'm like, okay, I'm really that good looking that you come talking to me. But I think what's not flattering. I think really it's bullies and people mistreating
Yeah.
people. I think that's what really turns me off on anything, because
Okay.
it's. Some people might like something different than we do. That don't mean we should look down on them for that. So definitely, I think the way people treat people,
Right.
or
That's
something like
good.
that, I don't agree with that. So that definitely turns me off in any fashion.
Good answer. Okay, if you can have a dinner party and you can invite 3 actors, dead or alive, who would they be?
Arnold Schwarzenegger, he'd be one of them. Hugh Jackman, because I'm a huge Wolverine fan, and probably Lauren Cohan. I need someone good looking to look at. Lauren, most definitely. My favorite one, so I have to invite her.
I love
There
that.
you go.
Go ahead, Dawn.
What's your favorite sound?
Probably an older model Camaro or Mustang. Back in the 70s and stuff like that, 60s. Just that engine, just
Yes.
That
never get
muscle
tired of
car.
it.
Yes.
Or one of the aircraft, buzzing by or something like that. Just the sound of those engines is just it's amazing. The sound of speed and horsepower is great.
Okay, what's your least favorite sound?
Whining. When my kids start screaming bloody murder, that's probably my least favorite, because either she's in trouble and she don't like it, or she might be hurt or something, and you have to figure out what's going on when she screams bloody murder. So that's probably the most annoying thing. It's like, she's at an age she can't really tell you what it is exactly, so you're just hoping it's nothing bad. Like you probably just heard that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. See?
And if you had a birthday party and you could invite 3 musicians or bands that are alive, who would you invite?
3 musicians. I would. Let me see. I would definitely invite. I love Guns N' Roses, so I'd invite that band. Def Leppard.
Old Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, old Guns N' Roses, like Paradise City and Welcome to the Jungle and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
not the current Axl Rose. He can't sing.
He's way out. Yeah, I can't talk. Heck, at least he got money. I ain't even got money, and I'm old and freaking out of shape. So but yeah, probably the old one, and then. I love Def Leppard. I love the fact that when their drummer got injured, they kept him on there. And then Katy Perry, love some Katy Perry. I ain't gonna lie, my daughter loves Katy Perry. And no, I take that back. Let me rewind a little bit. I want to take Guns N' Roses out, and I want to put in Kiss, because my daughter loves Kiss.
Yes,
loves
there you go.
Kiss.
There you go.
Oh, I don't know how I forgot them, because I just met them not too long ago.
Wait,
last final
you're going to take out Guns N' Roses and bring in Kiss, but you're leaving in Katy Perry?
I love Katy Perry. What can I say?
Let's take out Def Leppard and put in Taylor Swift.
No, I
love Taylor Swift, but I don't know. I like her.
You know what? He's going to do Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, and Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus. She's cute. She's cute.
I love her voice. I love Miley's voice. I mean, I could girl crush on her all day.
I'll listen to just about anything, rap, country. If it's good, I like it. I definitely will listen to it. But I'm more of an 80s hairband kind of guy.
Yeah, there you go.
Love that kind of music.
Yeah. Winger.
Yeah.
Yes.
Winger. Holy cow, that man had a mouth on him. Yeah. Lord have mercy. Don't get me going.
All right, your last 3 questions. What occupation would you like to try other than your own?
So I would love to be a pilot, like on a helicopter, like a helicopter pilot. I think that would be the neatest thing, to be able to learn how to fly a helicopter and fly. Been on a couple of them, and I think it would be really neat to do something like that.
We would like for you to too, so then you can fly us over Herschel's farm.
Heck yeah, parachute in. It was an accident, right?
There you go. And what occupation other than your own would you not want to try?
Construction work. That's just man, I would not want to do that. It's not built like that, like I used to be. Construction worker.
And finally, if heaven exists, what do you hope to hear from God when you enter the pearly gates?
All right, so I'm gonna get a little deep on this one. I hope that I hope he looks at me and says that I've tried to be the best person I could. I made a lot of mistakes in my life, and I just hope that when he looks down on me, he can say, you were a good, friend. You were a better, brother, but you were a hell of a husband and even better father. So that's what I like to hear.
That's good.
Yeah. I mean, it's we all strive to try to be better. And that's what, every day I try to wake up and be better. At least for my family.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I hope I hear from. But it might be like, nope, your ass is denied. Better take your ass back, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on tonight. This was great.
I love it. I had a good time. I love
Yeah.
it. And you ladies are great. Keep doing what you're doing. And like I said, I'm very touched and honored that you guys even take the time to let me come in and kind of share some of these stories and pictures and props and stuff. So I really appreciate it. And I will definitely see you guys at the camp, most definitely.
Well,
So.
and maybe we'll get to have you back on again with us.
Yes, most
Show us
definitely.
more
Most
stuff.
definitely. Hopefully all this background acting stuff will kind of pick up a little bit more, and I can tell you a little bit more about some of the cool stuff I get to do. That's something I'm currently into now, and
I want
fun.
you to come on and take us a video of all your stuff so we can
I can do that now. I can do that. Next time I come in, I will do that. It might take a couple of minutes, but I can show you everything because I've got everything from Superman statues to posters, signed posters, Walking Dead posters, to props, to
Sean,
if it's expensive, I got it.
we're trying to loot your house, buddy. Don't make it easy for us.
Yeah.
Don't make it grocery list for us.
I'm just
He's
gonna
gonna
give
go
you some
around with the
random address
camera.
and say, oh yeah, don't worry about this. This is where I live. I'll tell you what address I'm at so you can come loot me.
He's gonna go around with the camera and he's going, that missing spot, that's where Eliza was. That's where Carol was.
Yeah. Look at that. You see that underwear she probably thought was Rick. She took a good sniff and said, nope, that's not. And that's didn't even put it back. Didn't even put it back.
Well, you've been fantastic, Sean. We love you.
Well, I
and thank
appreciate it, ladies.
so
Thank you
much.
again. I
Give
appreciate
Ashley our love.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and I hope to be back. And like I said, I
Yeah.
can't wait to hang out with you
Yeah.
ladies in person at the camp. So
Yeah.
thank
We'll
you so
see-
much. You guys have a good evening, and to everybody that was listening, thank you, and I appreciate it. So,
All right.
We'll
Good
see
night,
you again
Sean.
soon, brother. Bye.
all right, talk to you guys later.
Bye.
He was
That was
awesome.
awesome.
He was awesome. All right. Are we ready?
So we got a sneak peek of From season 3, and we thought we would throw it up there.
Here we go.
Roll it, Eliza.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
You said this place couldn't break you. That's what she said. Let's see.
You're so strong. You're so strong. Just no. I know.
Gives me chills.
Man, that was that was I texted Liz Saunders. I said, "Oh crap." And she wrote back, "Oh yeah."
Oh my God.
it
It's
was
so good.
Yes, and
Those
we
were
love
pretty
them, and we're going to
intense.
have them back on. Hopefully.
Yes.
Yes.
So are we planning on doing a watch
Yes.
of From? Okay, so we'll let everybody in the audience know what episodes we're going to watch, and then we're going to talk about them on the podcast the following week. So that'll
That,
be
that will be after camp, though,
yes.
right?
Mhm.
right. Yeah. So when we come back from camp, we're gonna do Fear and get us caught up at least till Daryl doing. Yeah. We are working really hard, Kiki, on getting Harold, but we know that we're going to have Scott and Liz back, and we're going to maybe have them together, which I think would be an absolute friggin'
Yeah.
hoot.
Yeah.
We're working really hard to get David Alpay. We were supposed to have him earlier, and of course, with filming, he had to postpone, so we're still reaching out to him. But If you haven't watched it, you got to go watch it. I promise you. I mean, just from that, did you gals not get just like a flashback of Sadiq in the barn being forced to watch the beheadings by Alpha in that barn scene? And you know, I listened to that little clip. I can't tell you how many times, and I think I agree with Dawn. I think it's Sarah that we're hearing getting killed. I don't know who's being pulled in the cart, but I sounded like Sarah.
I think
to me.
it's like Ethan. Is that his name, the little boy? Because it looked like a little kid's shoe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because remember, she had the voices telling her to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if she did.
Yeah.
That was my thought.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm stressed out.
I know. 30 seconds of stress. Yeah. So it's going to be intense. And just seeing now that they're talking more to you, you know, the monsters, and yeah, it's going to cause for a drink when I have to watch it. But yep. So we're going to be able to watch that and do a little talk through about that. So I'm excited for us to do that. And we've got 2.5 weeks to camp, ladies. 2.5 weeks.
Yes, we do.
Oh no, I got to start packing now.
I know. I think Melissa already has. Next week, who do we have?
Wesley and Sarah Hale, and they're going to be talking about Survive the Night and what to expect.
Yeah, and I think they're actually going to have. I think we're actually going to have Terry and Collier and Jonathan Cooley on as well.
Awesome.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we like to thank our Patreons and financial supporters of our podcast: Destiny Lauren Moore, Terry and Kay Collier, Sandy Morrison, Tracy Killen Stokes, Ben and Melissa Gilbert, Pamela Blythe, Marianne Craig, Brandon Kay, Jason Cohn, Wesley and Sarah Hale, Randy Nickel, Jason Mullins, Edward and Diana Ponce Krupa, Melissa Patterson, Casey and Katrina Florig, Jason Hill, and Dustin Baker.
That's a mouthful.
I know. I'm like, whew, did I breathe? And a very special thank you to Oscar and Casey. And check us out on Facebook. The podcast, we have a podcast page and a group page where we play games. We have Spotify, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram.
And why do people want to be Patreons, Dawn?
Because we help give back to the TWD community.
Exactly. All right. So I don't know who's excited about the camp, but I am for sure. Oh,
What are you showing up in your camera?
I don't
He's
know what you're
showing
talking
up-
about.
he's
What are you
showing
talking
off
about?
a doll. He's playing with his dolls.
I was trying
Did you
to
take
give y'all some
somebody's
eye
clothes
candy.
off? Did you take clothes off of Shane?
No, I was showing you some eye candy. I was like, okay, let me give you a little sneak peek. There you go. We can't see the rest of it till you come down.
All right, guys. Well, we will see you next week. Right?
Bye, everyone. Thank you, guys.
Bye.